this is the Aussie FZ6 file I've got. You can see a list of all the map names. You got the 3D maps. You got 2D maps, which are all the ones that are by 1, so 14 by 1. All the main maps are here. All these ones at the bottom, most of these are axis descriptors, so they're all the 2D maps. You can see I've named them. RPM, that's the 48 by 1 map. That's the factor that goes with it, 20.833. So that's the map. Goes up to 14,500 RPM. And to change the original values to what the actual RPM is, you got to put the scaling factor in. So that goes here on the map. You got x-axis and the map. So on the map itself, I worked out the scaling factor to be 20.8333, and that converts the original figures they give into the RPM values that go from 0 up to 14,500. The manifold sensor, the values on that seem to be 0 to 655 in their original form, so I've just left them at that value because that's probably their actual values. Then TPS scale, 40 by 1. That's your throttle position sensor. Goes from 5 up to 100%. The factor I calculated for that one was 0.026339. And that's on the map. Then there's another RPM one, different scaling factor, that's the 30 by 1. TPS, another one, that's a different factor again, that's for the 15 by 1. And there's 3 of those. So when it comes to the maps, throttle position sensor fuel map, that's the actual map itself in 3D form. You've got the text view, so you've got RPM down this side, TPS across the top, that's your fuel values. Then so you got your map. I haven't entered any factor in there for the map, I've just left it as 1. It's a 40 by 48 axis. So your X is 40, your Y is 48. Your X-axis is the TPS. So I'm using a 40 by 1 TPS. Just get rid of that. Using the 40 by 1 TPS axis data for the map. So the X, it's TPS. Originally, it'll just here be 1, 2, 3. That's what shows up on the data. So you change that to EEPROM. The start address is at 40 by 1 TPS file I'm using. So it's AC5C. So in this box here, you enter AC5C. That originally will say 8-bit, but we're working in a 16-bit high-low. So that's what you click, 16-bit high-low. And then the factor for the TPS goes in this box here, so it's 0.026939, which is that value there that I calculated earlier. So that's your TPS data. Then for your Y-axis, you got your RPM. Data source comes from the EEPROM again, instead of 1, 2, 3. AB50, so this is the 48 by 1. So that 48 by 1 is your RPM, and it's 20.833. The address is AB50, AB50, so that's what goes in the start address, AB50, 16-bit high-low, and then your factor, which is 20.833. And that is how you get the access data onto the maps. So then instead of just having the numbers 0 to 47 and 0 to 39, you'll have the actual data. These could be wrong. There might be a different 48, or it might be a different 40. Because that map says there, it's 48 too. As long as you're not changing that data, that won't matter. It's only if you decide to change the access data where it might cause a problem. The ECU itself knows which one is the correct one, and it'll take the data from the correct one itself. So if I have named these back to front, it doesn't actually matter. It'll still take its data from the correct source. And it's only if I start changing these that it might cause problems. So that's how you get the access data to all your individual maps. You got your 40 by 48, there's 15 by 30s. You can see there's only one that's 30. So that one has to be the access data for these three maps. So that's your timing maps. So yeah, it's 15, which is your TPS, and then 30, which is your RPM. So you know that 30 by 1 has to be RPM, and I calculated that fact, so it'd be 3.9. So on this map, it's timing first and second. X-axis is TPS. There's 3 TPS ones in a row, all the same. So I'm assuming there's one for each map, A, B and C. You got your 3 timing maps. So yeah, the first one's AD46, so that should be AD46, not 6E. And then yeah, from the EEPROM, 16-bit high-low again, and the TPS factor was 0.279. And then for your Y-axis, that's your 31, so it's RPM, AD00, which is that address there, AD00, 16-bit high-low, and the factor is 3.9.